The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Nathaniel Hackett tried to downplay it, but Connor McGovern let it slip. The Jets want payback for Hackett against the Broncos and Sean Payton on Sunday. We will talk about that and much more in today's Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
Don't poke the bear.
This is it. I'll take everybody in this room over anybody in football. Hackett's work with the Broncos might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL.
Hey, asshat, might want to get back out there. Miami just scored on your shit team again. This is for you, douche face.
Hit it!
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jet. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, show number 2 on the day here on a Football Friday. If you want more on the Jets and the Broncos, some bets for the weekend, Jeff Parles joined us in the morning stream earlier today, so check that out on the channel. With that being said, let's dive right in, because I've been waiting all week to talk about what the Jets have said publicly and what the Jets are actually doing behind closed doors to get ready for revenge Sunday in Denver against Sean Payton and the Broncos. So, all week, any Jet player who spoke publicly has been trying to downplay the Nathaniel Hackett versus Sean Payton stuff. Robert Saleh's tried to downplay it. Hackett, who spoke yesterday, tried to downplay it. But finally, a player went on the record and said what we know is going on behind closed doors, that the Jets want payback against the Broncos. Jets center Connor McGovern spoke with Rich Cimini of ESPN and said, quote, he got thrown under the bus, and then they tried to drag him under the bus. We wanted to rally around him from the start. He's such a good guy. I don't know how you want to say this, the opportunity he has, but we want to make the most of him being our play caller. He's a phenomenal coach, crazy smart, and he makes meetings really fun and easy to learn, so he's definitely a guy that you want to play hard for. Then to go to a place that was dogging a guy that's so nice and so good at his job, for him to get thrown under the bus and dragged through the mud, you definitely want to play that much harder. McGovern then said that Hackett has not mentioned the situation to his players, which Hackett confirmed. Quote, that's not the type of guy he is, said McGovern, who played with the Broncos from 2016 to 2019. He has put his head down to grind. He doesn't let this stuff affect him, but that organization did him dirty, and we definitely want to allow him to get some payback. This has been the mantra in the locker room all week. I promise you, the Jets have used the Hackett comments for motivation. And let's not forget, Payton didn't just go after Nathaniel Hackett, saying it's one of the worst coaching jobs in NFL history. He went after the Jets when he said the Jets were the team that was trying to win the offseason. He compared them to like the 2000 Redskins, which was a joke. The Jets were pissed off when Sean Payton made those comments, because it wasn't just about Hackett. He went after them. And I can promise you that is being used as motivation in the locker room, despite what Robert Saleh and what Nathaniel Hackett want to say publicly. How do I know that? Why don't we bring someone on this show who has played for Robert Saleh and knows how he motivates guys? If you missed it, earlier in the week, I had Leger Douzable on. Leger, former Jet, of course, but he also spent time in San Francisco with the Niners when his defensive coordinator was, you guessed it, Robert Saleh. So I am curious, right? Because we all know about the Nathaniel Hackett versus Sean Payton storyline. Robert Saleh tried to downplay it yesterday, saying, "Oh, that's a lifetime ago." But you're a former player. You know how this works. How motivated are the Jets going to be to play for their guy Nathaniel Hackett against the Broncos?
You don't think Aaron gonna give them the secret juice again after what happened during training camp when he told Sean Payton to keep his coach's name out his mouth? Randall Cobb, Billy Turner, these guys are still on his team. Billy Turner was with the Denver Broncos. He felt like that was a shot at him last year. And then Randall Cobb, exactly, you know how he feels about Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers. So he feels like that was a shot at him. So, of course, this team is going to take it personal. Let's not also forget, he didn't just take a shot at Nathaniel Hackett. He took a shot at the Jets saying, there's always a team that wins the offseason. Their name is all over the place. Come playoff time, they're nowhere to be found. You don't think that was a shot at the Jets? You don't think Robert Saleh is using that this week? Come on, man. The one rule we always had, Jake, is never give a team bulletin board material. And I think it's just weird we're in a day and age where the coaches are doing it more than the players, which is crazy to me. Now, again, was Sean Payton potentially talking to his team and trying to motivate them? Yes, but there's other ways to do that than taking a dig or a shot at another coach. You know how hard this job is. You know the turnover when it comes to being a head coach or a coordinator. So there's no way you should be taking digs and shots at people knowing how hard it is to do the job that you do.
You said something interesting there because obviously Saleh, his persona in front of the cameras with the media is certainly a lot different than behind the scenes, as we saw in Hard Knocks up close. So you think, and you played for him, of course, for those who don't know, with the Niners when Saleh was the defensive coordinator there, you think for sure Robert Saleh is going to be bringing up the Peyton comments and win for Nathaniel Hackett, and this guy took shots at us behind closed doors. You think that's definitely coming up when he talks to the team this week?
I guarantee that was on the screen. If there was a screen behind me, it would have been on the screen as soon as everybody came into the team meeting room. His comments, right? This is an offseason. This is a team that won the offseason. Every year there's hoopla about a team that wins the offseason. And then come playoff time, we don't hear from him. You don't think he had those exact words on the screen when the team came in the meeting room? He's like, it's not just about doing this for Hack, y'all. He talked about us in totality as a team. Like the disrespect. Right, for him to take a shot at us when we haven't even played a game yet this season. So, yeah, Saleh definitely use it. Every coach is going to use that as motivation because, again, anytime you feel like you take a dig or a shot at your team, then you want to use that as motivation. And every hit you hit somebody out there, you should tell your coach to keep our coach's name out of his mouth or keep our team name out of his mouth because all that talking he doing, he needs to worry about his team giving up 70 points and letting the Chicago Bears look like the greatest show on turf last week. So,
well said by Leger, and he knows Robert Saleh. So you hear that from Leger, and this was Robert Saleh trying to downplay the Sean Payton stuff. It's hilarious how Saleh is so different in front of the media than he is behind closed doors.
Over the summer, Payton's comments about Hackett got the headline, but he also lumped you guys in with teams that are quote-unquote trying to win the offseason and mentioned the Hard Knocks. It's kind of an unflattering comment there. I'm wondering now as you go into this game, is there anything to it for you personally?
No. I said it before. In football terms, that was 15 years ago. So it's 20. It's more like 25 now. It's been a couple of days. So it's long gone. We're a different football team than we were in training camp. So were they, and we're just going out to play a football game. And the reality is coaches aren't the ones who play. It's the players. And it's our job to put them in the best position possible to be successful.
Did he ever end up reaching out to you? Did you ever speak to him?
I'll leave that between he and I.
Never did. Sean Payton never reached out, which is another motivating factor for the Jets. And the best was the attempts by the New York media this week, mainly Samini, because this is what he does, to try and get Hackett to say anything that could be used for headline fodder about this game. And this was Nathaniel Hackett doing his best deflection attempt to all those questions.
Kind of in the 2 months since Payton's comments came out, what kind of support have you gotten from the people around you, like your players, other coaches here, people around the league? What kind of feedback, support have you got?
It's been great. It's been great. I think that for all of us, our sole focus is on winning a football game. We got to get better on offense, and we got to do our part to be able to score more points.
So are you able to compartmentalize that? I mean, because obviously that's going to be the topic of conversation, even on TV during the broadcast. They're going to be talking about those comments. And how do you do that?
That's how this game is. As a coach, in every single thing we do, you can only control what you can control. And for me, I can control trying to get these guys in the best position to go beat the Denver Broncos.
Did you ever talk to him? Like at
No.
the time, he said he never.
Nope.
Did he reach out, or you didn't accept the call, or
Nope.
nothing?
Well, if he approaches you to talk about it, will you?
Let's put it this way, everyone. This game is about those guys out on that field. This game is not about me. It's about me helping them during the week. But I just want the guys to go out there and play a great game. That's all we're looking for. And what has happened is in the past, we all move forward. Coaches definitely just focus on trying to get the guys in the best positions, and that's what we're doing right now.
You are, though, I mean, in a way, you are human. And, I mean, the things that he said, they were pretty pointed. I know if it was me, it's like, this is your first opportunity to kind of go against it. Is there any bit of that in you? To think like, yeah, I want a little.
Every game we want to win, and every game we want to put the guys in great position, and that's what I'm trying to do this week also.
Having that experience from last year, what was the number one thing that you learned just being a head coach?
There's so many things. I don't think there's just one. I think that I'll always take that for me. Don't want to let those get out there because other people have to go through that experience to understand how to grow.
Given that you want this week to be about your players, did you address it in meetings so you could sort of get the elephant out of the room and move forward?
Nope. Just got to get ready for another game to win.
Do you take any little satisfaction in the fact that you were roundly criticized for last year and not much has changed there this year?
I haven't really watched their offense. I work primarily with the offense. I know there's some people in that organization that I really care about a lot. And, hey, that's part of it. I just want to go get a win.
The best part of all those questions was this 10-second exchange right here.
What are your emotions on going back to Denver?
Got to go win a football game.
How did they treat you there?
Great.
I love it. Samini was stunned that he got forwarded by Hackett, that all he could follow up with was, how'd they treat you there? Great. So Hackett's not trying to give Denver any bulletin board material. But I promise you, if you heard the comments Leger Douzable made on the show yesterday, this is motivation for the Jets. And Connor McGovern let it slip when he spoke with Samini and said that the Jets want payback after what Sean Payton said. And Leger is telling you that behind closed doors, Robert Saleh is a different guy than what you hear publicly.
I think a lot of people were surprised. You talked about Hard Knocks, right? Where they actually showed that clip of him calling the offensive line out. And I talked to Saleh like 2 or 3 times a week. And I was mystified that people were surprised by that. I'm like, just because he doesn't throw people under the bus, which you're not supposed to do as a head coach anyway. I know some coaches do it, but it's utterly wrong. Doesn't mean he doesn't hold guys accountable like that. I don't know where that came out of the blue and that, connotation of this guy doesn't hold players accountable. It's absurd. He holds you to a high standard. And I think that's why players play so hard for him, because he doesn't throw guys under the bus in front of the media, but he does hold them accountable behind closed doors. So he's always been that way, even when I was in San Francisco, right? He never publicly called somebody out like in a team meeting. But if there's a instance where he needs to motivate the team, he'll do that 100%. He'll do that, right? And he'll, if he needs to talk to you and be like, "Hey, we need it from you this week. Like you've been slacking." He'll do that. Like, so I thought it was just, asinine that people didn't think that he held people accountable. People were just so caught off guard by that. And I was like, what? Like, that's what a good coach does. He doesn't call his players out in front of the media, right? He calls them out, face to face or behind closed doors, because it's a family, it's a family environment. You keep everything in-house. I think Aaron Rodgers even talked to that. He said he was a little disappointed on the Pat McAfee show that some of the things he said in his personal talk with the team got out, right? Some things are just meant for the locker room and behind closed doors. It doesn't need to get out. And that's what Saleh does. A lot of times when he needs to motivate the team, he does it behind closed doors. He doesn't need to do it in front of the media.
I am telling you that this is being used for motivation for the Jets in this game. I'm telling you. Leger Douzable played for Robert Saleh. He knows. Connor McGovern told you the Jets want to get payback. They got to win this game on Sunday. No excuse. Find a way to win. The only way I see the Jets not winning this game is if Zach Wilson reverts back to being the worst quarterback in the league. If there was nothing that he gained from what happened against the Chiefs. Because it's nice to talk about Wilson playing as well as he did. They still lost the game. The only way you feel positive about a loss this week, Jet fans, is if you now win in Denver. Otherwise, this week didn't mean anything. This week of positivity. And the vibes have been pretty positive. Most of the comments are pro Zach Wilson now, pro the Jets getting back on track. It means nothing if they can't win. And this is a motivating factor. The Sean Payton comments against Hackett and the Jets. Once again, Sean Payton just didn't insult Nathaniel Hackett. He insulted the entire Jets organization and didn't even apologize for it. He didn't. He apologized publicly. He didn't call Salah or Hackett up. Their actions and those questions there told you all you need to know. Connor McGovern spilt the beans, saying they want to get payback. He used that word. They got to win this game now. And the way you win this game, I believe, is to start fast. Here's a key number for the Jets. 7-0. Lead in a game. Lead in the game with your offense on the field. They haven't done that all season to this point, through the first 4 weeks. Score in the first quarter. Haven't done that in the first 4 weeks. You want to win on Sunday, lead in the game and let the defense go into attack mode. If Zach has turned the corner, then they should be able to go out there against this defense and put up points. Everyone's put up points on this defense. They're historically bad. They're allowing 37.5 points per game. They're allowing 176 rushing yards per game, 285 passing yards per game. The Jets' O-line has improved each week. Zach should have time. Guys should be open. Breece Hall should be going nuts. Win this game. Otherwise, what did you really do this past week? You lost to the Chiefs, and you didn't build on it. And they're going to need to score points, man. As good as the defense is in the modern NFL, people are going to score points on you. They just are. You can't expect the Jets defense to be perfect every game. Now, I think they'll play well. But if you can't score at least 20-something points, you're giving Denver a chance to steal this game. That's just the NFL. Like, the Jets should be able to score the league average in points, which is 22. They should be able to score more than that against this defense. Otherwise, has Zach Wilson truly turned the corner? No. He just had one really good game. His first good game out of the 25 starts he made prior. This is a must-win. You win this game, you're 2-3 going into that Eagles game. Whole tenor of your season changes. You lose, you're now 1-4 going to that Eagles game. You're staring at 1-5 into the bye week. And then what? What are they really playing for? Got to find a way to go out there and win this game. And by winning, you end Denver's season. Because they fall to 1-4 and then they play the Chiefs next week. They're done. So you got to win this game. No way around it. No excuses. Find a way to get it done. And I played this clip earlier with Jeff Parles on the first show of the day. I think Zach Wilson's got the right mentality for how the Jets need to start out in this game.
Ease into a game, but I almost feel like the defense is too. So we need to come out fast as well. They're easing into what we're doing on offense, so we need to be able to come out right from the beginning and, you know, screw the third downs. Let's get some first downs on first down and second down. You know, let's start fast and get some big plays from the beginning.
All right. We're always having fun, Rob. We're done being stressed about football. Football's fun.
Let it rip, Zach. Let's go. And get Breece Hall going, too. I'd let Zach throw on first down, play action, and then once the defense loosens up a little bit, it's Breece Hall time. Over 60.5 rushing yards for Breece Hall is my best bet of the week. It's time, man. No more pitch counts. Give him the ball and get out of the way. Let's see it. No excuse. Win this game. Reminder, we will be live after Jets Broncos here on YouTube for a post-game show. We'll open it up now to your comments and questions. Super chats, always cut the line. Reminder, we are another week closer to Viva Las Vegas. Jake Asman here. I got some great news to share with all of you. You took our exclusive promo code for a discounted stay at the legendary Circa Resort and Casino for Jets Raiders weekend on November 12th, and you turned it into the most successful promo code Circa has ever seen. But guess what? We're rolling out the red carpet with a lineup of extra exclusive events. Get ready for more than just an open bar party. Picture this, a reserved haven at the iconic stadium Swim, where we could soak up the sun and watch college football all together. And that's not all. We're kicking off the game day action with a reserved spot for my listeners at the world's largest indoor sportsbook to catch the 10 a.m. NFL games the Sunday of Jets Raiders. And then off to the stadium all together. You do not want to miss this incredible weekend. Use my promo code JAKE15. Book your stay today at circalasvegas.com. I can't wait to see all of you at Circa Resort and Casino. It is time to book your stay at Circa, because I promise you it is going to be an absolutely incredible, incredible weekend. Can you imagine this? Look at that sports book. This is the second level of the sports book. You see that balcony? That's where our listener 2-hour open bar party is going to be for everyone coming out. Can't wait. Can't freaking wait, folks. Here we go to your comments, your questions, super chats, and phone calls on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. This one is from Crypto Mike, who says, Jets need to whip ass this weekend. I want to see more of ZW we saw versus KC. If Zach plays really well again like that, everything changes for this team. I'm not expecting that. I'm going to need to see it more than just one game in his life. But if he's just solid, they could easily win this game by 2 scores. Because I think this defense will play well, and I think they're going to have enough offense because I think Brees just goes nuts. I really do. I think this is the game we see Brees Hall be the guy that was going to win Rookie of the Year if he didn't get hurt last year. I truly believe that. But this is it for the Jets, man. Let's go. Your season's on the line. No such thing as moral victories anymore. You're playing a 1-3 team. Beat them. Chris writes in, thanks, Jake. You're an awesome dude. Keep up the great content. Chris, thank you. Appreciate your super chat. Alex writes in, if you like the Jake Asman show, smash the like button. I agree. I actually got this message from Robert Saleh earlier.
Look, guys, I don't know how else to say this. Fact of the matter is the team has almost no chance to win this week unless you click on the like button. Also, be sure you're subscribed to the Jake Asman show. Let's do this. Go Jets.
I mean, that's from the head coach himself. So, look, I'm just trying to win games here, man. My Young writes in, headed to the airport in an hour to represent our team. Let's go, baby. JETS, 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 Jets. Anyone going to Denver that's watching this right now, comment either live or after the fact. Wear your bucket hats and F Sean Payton. Let's go. Tom writes in with a question. How much weight do you put into Saleh downplaying the first Dwayne Brown and now DJ Reed injuries? Would you prefer him to be honest when players will be out or keep his cards close to his chest? I would say don't tell the media anything. But just know when Robert Saleh talks about a player they think is going to be good to go, chances are that player is not playing. And here's the thing with concussions. There hasn't been a single player this year that has been in the concussion protocol that's been cleared in time for the following game. So DJ Reed, I don't think was gonna play at all. Jets Carpetbagger writes in with a super chat. What is the best insulting nickname you've heard a Jets fan use for Sean Payton? Let's punish him on Sunday. Not sure. Maybe people in the comments could be helpful with that one, but I don't know. The thing about Sean Payton that should be pointed out is that his Broncos team has been just as bad in a lot of the things that he criticized Nathaniel Hackett and his coaching staff for a year ago. It's a joke. Like the Broncos, I think, lead the NFL in like pre-snap penalties. That was what he got on Hackett for last year. So come on, man. Dakota writes in, Sean, that was ridiculous. Okay, I thought you were talking about Sean Payton. Don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. NY Jets Florida says everyone's expecting us to run. We need to come out in a 3 wide receiver formation. They got to stay aggressive, man. Call plays where Zach doesn't have to think. Easy reads. And look, if he has protection and he's not thinking, he doesn't have to worry about the pocket collapsing on him. This offensive line should continue to play well. They have their best 5 going right now. I think the Jets have 3 of their 5 linemen of the future out there in Mackay, Tippmann, and AVT. I like where this team is at. Rick Kent writes in, the worst name you can call Sean Payton is Sean Payton. Look, Sean Payton has done nothing to win over anyone in Denver. Jets start taking it to the Broncos, and they're showing Hackett on TV, and those Broncos fans are going to be booing. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. But it's on the Jets to make that happen. Robert writes in, when I need a dose of sanity in my life, there is always Jake Asman. Thank you, Robert. If you guys want more Jets coverage on Sunday, I'm on ESPN New York with Ty Butler. Ty and I are hosting from 11 a.m. Eastern to 2:30 p.m. Eastern, right in the Jets pregame with Dan Grassa and Greg Buttle on the Jets flagship station 98.7 ESPN New York. So back-to-back Sunday shifts for me leading into Jets pregame. I'm filling in for Jets hater Brandon Jacobs this Sunday with Ty Butler. Just kidding about Brandon being a Jets hater, although we do have him in the shadow realm. But anyway, I'm excited to be on 98.7 ESPN New York. So Jet fans, tune in, call in. We'll be talking Jets, talking Giants, taking you right in to the Jets pregame show as the Jets have a must-win against the Denver Broncos. To your calls we go on the Gusbuster hotline. Here we go. First up is V-Man. V-Man, what do you got for us?
How you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, no, honestly, yeah.
V-Man, slow down. Hold on. You're talking a little too fast. You're a little mumbling here. Get closer to the mic. Let's hear you. I know you have a lot of insight. We want to be able to understand what you're saying.
Well, honestly, I agree with you. You said, of course, this game was always going to be one that they were motivated, fired up for. I mean, you can't expect a coach to make. You can't expect to see a coach of another team make those type of comments and think they're just going to pass away because a few months have passed. No, that stuff stays in there. That stuff stays there. It's compartmentalized in your brain. They remember it, and they are pissed. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, they are going to probably kill the Broncos. I wouldn't be surprised if they killed them in this game. Like, my concern, though, is obviously with the secondary. It's like the injuries there. Do you feel comfortable right now with the current state?
I mean, I don't love it, but I think if DJ Reed means you can't beat the Broncos, I mean, that's not a good enough excuse for me. Like, you should be able to still score enough points to make up for the fact maybe the defense is not as good because you're down one of your better players.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, well, let's be honest. They're probably going to. I don't remember correctly. Like, how bad has the Broncos' offensive line been?
It's not great. Russ has been pressured a lot, but they're also getting the ball out quicker this year. But this is still a defense that should be able to go out there and hold Russell Wilson to under 20 points, I would say. 20 points or less.
I probably agree with that. Like, I probably agree with that. Yeah, like I said, I'm still confident in this game. And, yeah, I feel like, the Jets should absolutely go in here. They're probably going to beat the ever-loving crap out of the Broncos, and you're just going to come out and feel confident and feel great going into that Eagles game.
Let's hope. V-Man, good call. Open phone lines if anyone wants in. Nice little bounce-back performance from the V-Man there. Love to see that. Comments, questions, anything Jet-related on your mind? Johnny wants to know, can V-Man please play again? Well, which version? The Gator version of V-Man or V-Man's natural playing state? These are the questions. Also, was V-Man wearing a turtleneck there? I see Dano's writing turtlenecking. I noticed that too. Snowball says the Jets won't trail in this game. From your lips to God's ears. Please. Rick writes in, this guy put bounties on players. Damn right he did. Have you noticed in the animation that we play, Sean Payton's shirt says Bountygate?
Hackett's work with the Broncos might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL.
Hey, asshat, might want to get back out there. Miami just scored on your shit team again. This is for you, douche face.
Bountygate, the t-shirt. Dakota says, we are going to the playoffs. These next 2 weeks for us is perfect if you think of it. Look, players don't look at it that way like we do as fans. Like, oh, it's a must-win, otherwise they're not going to make the playoffs. They'll be like, we have all these games left, our focus is on just winning each week. But let's be real. Statistically, you start 1-4, you have a next to nothing chance of going to the playoffs. And at 1-5, you're done. You're done. I know the Jets rallied in 0-2 from 2-5. Herm had the "you play the win the game" speech, and they won the division. That was a 9-7 Jets team that went on a run. It's not happening this year. So they got to win on Sunday, man. If you can't beat the Broncos, how am I supposed to sit here and expect you to beat the Eagles? I know crazy things happen in the NFL every week, but come on. Time to win. Comment here from Aria, who says, I think the Jets can win. Issue for the Jets is the Broncos don't throw deep unless Russ goes off script. Yeah, but the thing is the Jets should just be able to put a lot of pressure on Russ, force him into some bad decisions. You know, I think the Jets will have a good plan for Russell Wilson. I mean, they have Nathaniel Hackett, who obviously knows how to play him. Robert Saleh was in Seattle when Russ was at his best. Like, this Jets coaching staff should have a pretty good game plan for Russell Wilson. They know him. Forever Royal says, this game does seem personal. You think? Hackett could downplay it all he wants. Does this sound like a guy who is not well aware what's on the line on Sunday?
What are your emotions on going back to Denver?
Got to go win a football game.
How did they treat you there?
Great.
Oh, that smirk. He knows exactly what's on the line here. We all understand. Steven says, have we gotten a score prediction yet, Jake? Steven, you want a score prediction? Jets 24, Broncos 17. Let's get a win. Let's get a win. Let's go. This defense better show up. None of this trailing by 10 in this nonsense. Jets got to lead. If the Jets lead 7-0 in this game, I will feel great about their chances of winning the game. Lead in this football game. Let's go. 24-17, Jets win. I think it's close for the first three quarters, and the Jets in the fourth quarter find a way to get it done. 70% of games this year are within a score in the fourth quarter. Teams that win pull away in the fourth. Jets have to do that. NY Jets Florida says we might zone a lot because of the DJ Reed injury. They zone anyway. The Jets play more zone than most teams in the league. Not having DJ Reed, I think, means there's maybe a chance they do more man, and I'll tell you why. Because now you don't have one shutdown corner on either side of the field. So maybe they have Sauce shadow Judy or Cortland Sutton, or they adjust based on what Russ is going to. But I think DJ Reed being out actually means not more zone. I think it means maybe more man, believe it or not. Mr. Downtown writes in, do you smell what the Hackett is cooking? Hashtag revenge. Oh, do we smell it all right? Time to win, man. Once again, you can't win this game. What game are you winning? Johnny says, I say 24-0 Jets, Brees with 2 rushing touchdowns, and Conklin with 1. Would love to see Conklin get in the end zone. Dano says, we'll win if Brees gets 10 carries in the first. Hashtag bench Dalvin. This is it for Dalvin Cook. The excuses can no longer be made for Dalvin Cook if he goes out there and stinks up the joint again. It's enough. Time to win. Keep rolling with your calls. Daniel Murphy up next on the Custbuster Hotline. What's up, Murph?
Hey, Jake. How we doing today?
Oh, man. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, man. I don't know why, but even after a loss, the vibes are high, man. A couple things I wanted to ask you about because, first of all, congratulations on the Knicks Fan TV thing.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
But, selfishly, I'm wondering, is that going to cut into our 2-a-day show or
not at all?
Two-a-day
No,
shows?
no,
Okay,
yeah, no. Good
spoiled.
question.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, no, good question. It will not affect anything with the Jet Con. I'm just adding more responsibility because I have more time to do it because I'm part-time on radio right now, no longer full-time ESPN Houston. I'm doing this full-time, so it gives me more time to do other things like that. So, no, there'll be Knicks content on Knicks Fan TV channel, but nothing changes with the daily Jets content.
All right, great. Glad to hear that because, we love our Jake Asman show for sure.
My man.
And then just the other thing, just talking point I wanted to bring up, is there players, or specific things that worry you about this game? Is there anybody that you're concerned about? Is it Javonte Williams, just Jaleel McLaughlin, since we got tore up on the running game last week? Patrick Surtain, are you concerned about anybody in particular on the Broncos?
You know what worries me? It's just the Jets. A lot of confidence this week for the Jets to win. They're 1-3
Wilson.
right now. Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
That's what worries me. Would it be shocking if Zach played poorly on Sunday? No. Now the Jets have proven they could still win with Zach being bad. They did it. He was not good against this team last year, and they still won. But that's what concerns me. What if Zach reverts back to what he's been? What if last week was the ultimate mirage? I think there's enough there where it's there's just no way. But he, come on, man. I don't know. That's what concerns me. Obviously, I'm giving my prediction based on the fact I think Zach could be competent. But I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, agreed. The thing about it is, though, the reason I think that I'm so high on it is that we're just going to rule the Patriots game out because Belichick, just every young quarterback, he just has their number, and especially so Zach. But if you look at the other games, all three of them, you can see small steps of progress that he's made at least since last year. Whether it's just stepping up in the pocket, that's a big thing for him because he used to bail like crazy.
He also can make the easy throws too.
Pocket.
That's a fair point.
He's not dirting balls.
Yeah,
so.
To your point, if you remove, look, it's tough to remove because it's the Patriots and there's a lot of scars there. But if you just look at the Bills game, 3/4 of the Cowboys game, and obviously this past game, he has improved. You could see it. It's just the back of your mind is always there's that New England game hanging there that makes you nervous about any game you go into.
Yeah, and that's why you kind of hope that Aaron Rodgers comes back for that last game of the year, especially if there's playoff implications. So, or maybe Zach has been balling out all year and he's got enough confidence to go in there and blow Belichick's doors off and make them 4-13 or something at that point in time. We would be riding a high for a long time if that happened.
Oh my God! All right, sign me up for that. Good call, my friend. Appreciate you. Could you imagine? The Jets need to beat the Patriots to get into the playoffs at the end of the year. I don't care how good Zach Wilson's playing at that point. If Rodgers is healthy, I'm starting him against the Patriots. I just don't trust Zach against New England. I just can't. But no, Zach clearly has been better this year, just from a confidence standpoint. He's no longer dirting screen passes. He's able to hit checkdowns. His pocket presence has been good. You don't see him bailing out of clean pockets. He's been better. He's still Zach Wilson, though. Right? Let's not lose sight of that, Jet fans. These were Zach's stats going into the Chiefs game. He was last or in some cases, worse than last because there's only 32 starters. He was behind backups in this league in every category that mattered going into that Chiefs game. So, did something click for Zach, or was it just a one-off? That's what we don't know. And believe me, I'll be rooting for Zach Wilson. I'll be maybe rocking the number 2 jersey if they win on Sunday. They got to win. F Sean Payton. Win this one for our guy Hack, Martini Nate, and let's go. No excuses. You got to win. But let's not forget, this was Zach Wilson a week ago. We were showing this graph. He was the second least efficient quarterback since 2014, not named Josh Rosen. So over the last decade, he's been the worst quarterback not named Rosen. So did something magically click? It'd be an incredible outlier if he's ever as good as he was against the Chiefs now moving forward. But I don't need him to be that good for this team to win. Give me the Zach Wilson through 3 quarters against Dallas, and they could win this game against this Broncos defense if Brees goes nuts like I think he will. That's what I need. Let's not forget the Jets are an underdog in this game. So obviously Vegas doesn't think the real Zach Wilson is what we saw last week. The Jets got a lot to prove. They got to win, though, and I think what helps Zach, once again, is the offensive line for the Jets has been getting better since they made the changes. This is now the 3rd week in a row Zach Wilson will have the same 5 offensive linemen. Did he have that once last year? No. They got to win. Zach Wilson played well with Taylor Swift in the building last week. Maybe he'll play well with, Ciara in the building in Denver? I'm assuming she's there. Is it Sierra or Ciara? I apologize to the Ciara stands. Or Sierra, however you're supposed to say it. Brandon says, let Zach rip it against the Broncos. I don't care if he throws picks. See, I think that's silly. Turnovers lose you games. You didn't care if he threw picks against the Chiefs because it's like you might as well go down swinging. Against this team, you don't need him losing the game with bad decision-making. I agree you can't play scared, but you also don't need him to necessarily throw 39 times against a defense that has been historically bad overall, but especially bad against the run. Not when your best offensive player might be your running back in Breece Hall. I mean, Breece Hall should be able to go out there against a defense that's allowed 176 rushing yards per game and without a pitch count, dominate. I mean, the Broncos defense has allowed the most rushing yards, tied for the most rushing touchdowns, second most yards per carry. Their second level tackling has been a league worst 23% missed tackles by their linebackers, corners, and safeties. I promise you, if Breece Hall has another big run, he's scoring. Like Breece Hall now, fully healthy off a pitch count, is taking this toss here with the blocking out in front from Vera Tucker, Ruckert, and Tippmann, and he's cutting this inside right there instead of going back around. And he's scoring a touchdown. That's what needs to happen. That's what's coming. And also, hey, C.J. Mosley, when you have that once-a-week pass that hits you in the hands, catch it. You caught one of them last week because you got two, but catch it. Yeah, this has got to be the week I think Sauce gets an interception as well. I think he's overdue. It's time. I'm being told it's pronounced Ciara. Ciara. Okay. We'll go with that one. But then someone else has wrote it Sierra. What is it, guys? Come on. We can't be getting this wrong. We're trying to be factually correct on this program. Despite what the Zach Wilson truthers want to say. L. Pinsky is saying 21-10 Jets. I'll take that. Wesley Thompson writes in, one game, no, not even that, 2 quarters of passable football. That doesn't make you want to retch, and all of a sudden he's a MILF hunting stud. F-O-H-W. I believe that means F out of here with that word for poop, if I'm interpreting. I think I got the gist of your message. Yeah, he's never had 2 good games in a row. RJ says, is Sierra technically I don't know. I don't know. I'm not qualified. Is it Sierra, though? I don't know. Does it really matter? Super chat from Douglas. There are talks Denver will try to trade Judy or Sutton at the deadline. Would you try and get either of them for the Zach attack? No, I would not, unless there's an injury. I think they have more than enough at receiver. I don't think the Jets would think either one of them is a true difference maker. JP says, hey, Jake, I really hope our offense, defense, and special teams all show up to the game at the same time this week. Do you think we can get 1 week where we click on all cylinders? Great hat. Go Jets. This should be the week, JP. This is the worst team you played by far. Now, I guess you could argue New England, but Belichick has this mind F over Zach Wilson that the Jets can't figure out. This is the game that Zach should be able to build on what he did well last week, play well again. We saw Justin Fields, who had really struggled, play his best game against the Broncos defense, and he was good again last night. So maybe Justin, how funny would it be if the two guys that have been so bad both turned the corner at the same time? Because Fields did play well last night, and I watched the entire game. Imagine Zach plays well too, and all of a sudden, hey, do we have to rethink this 2021 draft class, all being bust besides Lawrence? I hope we have that conversation. This should be the game, man. The special teams has been pretty good all year. Like, there's no issue there. Obviously, the offense has been the issue. But the defense has to start fast, man. They got to tackle better this week. They can't trail. Jets got to score in the first quarter. It's time. Mr. Downtown is saying it's Sierra. Sierra. All right, we'll go with that. Until one of you then writes, no, it's actually pronounced this way. Cy Thompson writes in, Broncos just traded someone to the Niners. Yeah, they traded Randy Gregory. He's off their team. Dano wants to know, which listener are you bunking with at Circa? Early odds or V-Man over Gorman? Man, I would tell you who I'm bunking with is not on the board because it's me, myself, and I, baby. I don't think I can handle a night with V-Man. Good God. Patrick writes in, Sauce is going to be fired up after getting mixed up with last week's terrible call. Nothing would make him happier than a pick six. Sauce has never had a pick six as a Jet, so he's due. He's due. It's coming. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Johnny writes in, it's actually pronounced Mrs. Wilson, ... Zach Wilson. Yeah, by the end of the game, she's going back home with a different Wilson. Wouldn't that be nice? Plot twist, it's Garrett Wilson. Just kidding. I don't know. Can the Jets just win? God, I don't care how they do it. Dave says the Lions coming together, run it down their throat, show some guts. This should be the Brees game, man. It's all set up. Going back to the place where he got hurt last year, it is time. It is all set up for Brees to be unleashed. Need that. Joining us right now is a very special guest. We know him as Paul Boy Green Esden Jr. What's up, man?
Jake Gastard Asman, baby. What is up, Jakey?
What's up, man?
Good Lord have mercy.
Oh, God.
Bop. Whoa, this Gumby-like body for the friggin' New York
Here we
Jets.
go.
Get that basketball in there, a little, I'm just going to be like, well, chutzpah, you know what I'm talking about? Not too shabby. Yes, things grow stale. What the hell? And the crowd goes, what? Little shish kebab, a little, hey, how you doing? That horse was galloping in the open prairie. Tasty, tasty. This team's hyped, by the way. Ooh, I feel like I'm on crazy pills. Like, Ben Champ, Jets are idiots. See, I told you. Shut up, people. But I don't know. I don't even. Pelvic thrust. Multiple. Take care, everybody. I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
I was not expecting AI Boy Green to be making an appearance. We had AI V-Man yesterday, and now AI Boy Green. Well done, Gator. That was funny. Here I am thinking Boy Green called in. Nope. He did not. Unbelievable. Did I miss any super chats? I don't even know how to do a show after that. Let's see. I don't think I did. Man. So Gator has now done AI Boy Green and AI V-Man. Unbelievable. And I'm sure there's more to come. I appreciate everyone for watching. Reminder to like and subscribe to this channel.
Look, guys, I don't know how else to say this. Fact of the matter is the team has almost no chance to win this week unless you click on the like button. Also, be sure you're subscribed to the Jake Asman Show. Let's do this. Go Jets.
Thank you, Coach. Everyone have a great rest of their Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We will have a live post-game for you on Sunday immediately after the game, so be on the lookout for that right here on the channel. Appreciate all of you for your support. Let's beat the crappy-ass Broncos on Sunday. It is time to get a win. Talk to you guys soon. JTS, Jets, Jets, Jets.